That's exactly right, Rich. And when you look at Taysom Hill, you see the guy who's a Swiss Army knife, can do it all. So when the news broke on Friday, everybody was wondering, why did Sean Payton make this call? From what I've gathered is they've always thought about him as a quarterback first, before those other roles. And Payton in the past has thought of him as a Steve Young style of player. Now, they believe in the 3 years he has been here, he has a very, very good understanding of a passing system that's extremely complex. They love his leadership, they love his work ethic, and they love his intelligence. And all backup quarterbacks are in the room during the week with the starting quarterback. But Taysom Hill believes he has an advantage, Rich, because he's actually on the field with Drew Brees at times, sees him run this offense, sees his leadership. He believes that'll help him this afternoon against the Falcons.
Boy, just adding an intriguing aspect to a series that we have seen so much happen. And as a matter of fact, Taysom Hill back in last year against the Atlanta Falcons ran one in, threw one in, and blocked a punt. So don't tell the Falcons he's just a quarterback. and don't tell the Falcons, oh, yeah, you've heard about this Swiss Army knife thing? Yeah, they saw pretty much everything come out of that Army knife last year. Kurt, your first thoughts when you heard that Taysom Hill was getting the start over Jameis was what?
Surprise. I was really surprised by this. And really, because of the nature of how they play offense in New Orleans, we all know about Drew Brees and how he dissects defenses and about reading the entire field, getting the ball out of his hands, making those quick decisions. So when you look at Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, you say to yourself, well, Jameis is the guy that really fits that mold or fits this offense better than Taysom Hill. And, you know, so it's going to be interesting. And the big question is, what will this offense look like? James was just talking about it. Will it look like the Drew Brees offense? Or does Sean Payton believe we can overhaul this offense and make it more of what we see from Taysom Hill on a weekly basis and more of a run style with play action and the gadgets that Michael was talking about? So I was very surprised they went with this decision. I'm interested to see if it is a full-time decision or Jameis finds his way into the lineup here and there depending on situations. But excited to see Taysom Hill. They went out and signed him to that 2-year, $21 million extension for this purpose because they believed he could be a starter.
Meanwhile, over in the AFC, the Ravens and Titans. Last time we saw these two, the Titans one and done. The Ravens as a 1 seed, which they were for the first time ever in their franchise history. Now, today, the rematch is the Titans maybe knocking the Ravens out of the wild card picture and swapping spots from the outside looking in, where we find Mike Garafolo in Baltimore.
Rich, some talk out of Tennessee this week about Derrick Henry's workload not quite being what it was earlier in the season, but those in the Titans organization saying it's right where it needs to be. And if you look, he is on pace for 357 carries. That would shatter last year's career high for him of 303. But offensive coordinator Arthur Smith saying last year Henry's workload naturally increased as the season went along. So read between the lines. This is the time of year where they are going to lean on Henry, particularly against a Ravens run defense that gave up 173 on the ground against the Patriots last week, with Patrick Queen, the rookie linebacker, struggling. Now, in January, Henry ran the ball 30 times against this Ravens defense, and he led them to a victory in that divisional round playoff game.
AFC divisional playoff game. The Titans are big underdogs. Jackson fires down the middle. Ball tipped and intercepted. Fired. Tannehill throws the fade. Is it inbounds? Yes! What a play! 4th and short. Hit at the line, and he stopped. Tannehill looks for the home run ball. Raven hauls it in. Touchdown. Keep running away. Just remarkable. Direct snap. Derrick Henry. Jump pass in the end zone. Touchdown, Titans. Oh, my goodness. Jackson takes the snap. Fumbles. Titan ball. The Tennessee Titans have shocked the world, upsetting the #1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah, and both teams enter this game with sour taste in their mouths. Obviously, the Ravens from last year, but also from the last 3 weeks. And the Titans come in this game having lost 3 of 4. And the Ravens, once again, one of the first moves made of the entire offseason was getting Calais Campbell to come in for games exactly like this one to stop running backs exactly like Derrick Henry, but Mooch Irvin, is out.
Yeah, you know, both of these teams are 6-3, but lately not playing their best football, Irvin. And let's talk about their recent struggles and what we're concerned about, because when I look at the Ravens, it seems to me, you know, we know they're a great rushing team. They've led the league in rushing last year. This year, they're great. But Lamar Jackson is their leading rusher as the quarterback. I don't necessarily like that. I want this running back group to be more productive. Last year, this stable of running backs, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Mark Ingram, they were the #1 running back group in the league. They've dropped to 11th. I think this running back group needs to give Lamar and the Ravens a little more production out of the backfield. Mike, what say you?
Yeah, Coach, I agree from the standpoint, if we're measuring, when we look at which team recent struggles concerns me the most, when we're measuring where we expected these teams to be, because I thought Baltimore was going to make that jump and be really, you know, fighting for a Super Bowl, but they're starting to struggle. Tennessee, I knew had some funny stuff to it, you know, because if they win by running the football, Coach, playing great defense, and not turning the ball over. And you just heard those things aren't working, then all the pressure falls on Ryan Tannehill. And since Taylor Lewan went out in week 6, weeks 1 to 6, Ryan Tannehill had a completion percentage of about 75. Weeks 7 to 10, that drops all the way to 55. Now, that's how important one tackle is. Let me just tell everybody,